once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am excited for today. Sincerely. Praise God. Praise God indeed. These words, man, this is what I want to get into. I've got so many ideas and so much joy, faith, excitement that I hope to share. So I'm inspired today. I started a little bit early. Thank you sincerely to all of you. Whoever may join as we get going, because we never do know. We never know who's going to join or what might happen once that go live button starts, man. Because it's not scripted, it's real life. And some of the characters, man, they're real life characters. But we're here to have some fun again today. I've had a blessed day, right? And yeah, I was kind of it's catchy, right? That opening jingle, man. It's catchy and it's joyful. And there's a fun, bright, uplifting energy associated with it, in my heart at least. And I think with some of you guys too, right? So things are changing, and yet nothing is ever the same, and everything seems the same. But here, I realized here, just as I was getting ready to start, there's a lot of ideas I want to get through. And then I will drop the link and we'll see what characters show up, or if I may go somewhere else. Because I noticed there's several peers, friends, live streaming at the same time as me. And I'm not about competition. I'm all about success instead of silliness and games. But praise God, man, life is meant to be fun, and that's what this online adventure for me has reminded me of. It truly is true. God is the one in charge, the one in control. So have fun doing whatever you're doing and get over your nonsense, your bitterness and your hate and your judgment. Get over your unhealthy habits. It's a waste of your existence when you're honest with yourself. And so here, before I start getting into the lecture idea, here's what I want to really offer forth for you to consider at whatever time you may tune in and hear these words. Just enjoy being you as I get to enjoy being me. And then as we are being with joy with ourselves and each other, maybe we can have some fun with these ideas today. Because the ideas I'm talking about, I'm pointing out what is really, really obvious. It's like, yeah, no kidding, Jack. You're not saying nothing new. But in the background of my message with the topic, align with compassion to know love, along with that message in the background is peace, and my anti-war message is on my chest. So today's Tal quote, right? Reminding us all. Now, this applies to individual relationships, to the international relationships. A world without wars is waiting. It's there waiting for people to stop fighting. It's that simple and obvious. The wars can end when people choose to stop fighting. And a world without secrets would probably help people stop fighting. A world without secrets, it's waiting for people to stop lying. People need to stop lying to themselves and fighting against what is real. Because a world without fear It's here and now. The world without fear is waiting for people to love it. And we can carry these ideas further. A world without suffering. We all know there's a lot of suffering in this world. But a world without suffering is waiting for people to share compassion, not pity, not sympathy, not charity. There I go lecturing. Let's get back into the value, right? The reminder, we all have this option available for us. Should we remember? Should we find it? Should we choose it? We can always make the choice to bring the love that overcomes the fears. And you can share the compassionate support that ends suffering within you and around you. These rules are all inter-applicable, right? And there's plenty of problems within us and around us that can be overcome. I'm dealing with plenty of them myself. So that's a segue into the Jack story. What's Jack doing? Well, instead of pursuing dental options nearby, I knew there was a group of people going into the House of Representative offices and sharing some messages. So I joined with about 60 other people here in Washington, D.C. this morning. And yeah, we went door to door, different state representatives, and there's different messages for the different parties, right? The two messages are really aligned. One is stand up or stand aside to, the people that are the left or the progressives, whatever. This was the mindset and where I was at. But to the Democrats, the message is pretty clear: stand up or stand aside. To the Republicans, to those supporting what's going on, we will hold you accountable. There will be accountability in the future. It's predestined. It's the way that God and nature works. Criminals cannot continue to be criminals when there's good people who can intervene. See, and I was reminded of a few life observations today. It feels good to know that there's other people, right, dealing with or seeing what you're seeing, even if you're not directly connected, even if you're not immediately aligned. Knowing there's other people who are in the same struggle with you, it actually does something to comfort the heart. Now, that's really what friends and relationships and families are for, but I get to do all this stuff in my head. And so finding that lets me realize that if I can do all this myself, then anybody can do all this myself, because I'm really a very simple man. Matter of fact, I prefer simple over complicated. I don't like doing things the hard way. But by the grace of God, see, through trial and error, a lot of effort was made by me to figure out what's going on around here, so to say, here on earth, I mean. So by the grace of God, I've been blessed, and I'm not alone, man. There's so many like me. We're just disorganized, and disorganized can be clutter. And so we got a lot of clutter and disorganization amongst the masses, but that's only in my personal experience. In other people's experience, right, they're dealing with teams and cohesion, they're doing stuff. Life is an amazing story if you allow it to be an amazing story. And like it or not, you are the star of your life story. In the end, the stories that people tell about you, it'll be based on you, whether they're true or not. Well, we live in a world filled with liars right now, so who knows what's real anymore. Praise God. I know God's love is real. I know that the way I found more love for myself was when I shared compassion with others. Because seriously, every place I've been, every pain I've had, every struggle I've faced, there's others who had it a lot worse than me. As I said, I keep saying, God has blessed me. I've I've been so blessed and so protected in my life, and I had no clue. I had no clue how dangerously and foolishly I had been living in my past, because I was overcome with this unhealed trauma nonsense, and I didn't know what was going on. I love laughing at myself, the old self. And I hope you can laugh with me. I hope you can have fun, and I hope you can laugh at yourself, because if you can't, you've tricked yourself. Okay? You've convinced yourself to believe that you're either more important than you are or less important than you are, because both things are true. We are very important, and yet at the same time, we are easily replaced. I know that for a fact. um, hey, yes. So I guess let me get back to the story. God bless you guys. Um, yeah, I went down to DC again and met with the organizers with Mayday, and there's another group too. There's many groups that are organizing, and actually there was a guy. I got to look him up. I got to promote. I'll probably. I came across another guy. He left his job and his home in New Mexico, I think, to be here near DC to try and support whatever can be done. There's more and more people, activists, right, getting alive and awakened, because the signs are clear, brothers and sisters. If we don't collectively wake up, the truth will stay hidden. But that's not our destiny. See, I'm confident God wants mankind to grow in more consciousness, to become more aware of the self-destructive patterns that lying will create. Excuses become lies that people believe in, and that's why the world has settled for leadership like Donald Trump and Joe Biden of the past. I don't want to single any one of them out. For the love of God, brothers and sisters, our world is crying out for help. And God's grace has always been here for us. Holy cows. I could go on and on. I've actually got the pages of notes from yesterday. I thought they were pretty important. Oh, here. Yeah, so I went to, I don't know how many offices, maybe 10 or a dozen different offices, offered my feedback on what what I see going on with the state of the world. But all of the actual elected officials, there's no voting going on this week, so most of them are back in their hometowns. I recognize that this is mostly just for the message, not for results. But see, I'm honest about my humility. I mean, I'm honest about what I believe I'm doing and what is or is not possible. And so, brothers and sisters, for those of you who want to doubt me so much, oh, you know what? Seeing Chuck in the chat reminds me, because I'm feeling strong and I'm feeling confident. So, mods, my thought is to unhide all the people I've blocked. Now, that's kind of, I guess it would be a mixed responsibility, wouldn't it? And so I'm kind of dropping that to you guys pretty, pretty, pretty suddenly, spontaneously. So I'm going to hold off on that, but please give it some thought. And if there's any reason I should not clear the blocked list, well, Sammy, see, there's a lot of cool characters. There really is, and Chuck is a cool character. I do not understand why things have been the way that they have, but I have faith. Boy, you are an instigator, Sammy So Knight. I encourage you to look at you. Are you encouraging this for the best results? Right? Are you encouraging these things for the best results or for the greatest challenge for Jack? Because I know it is entertaining watching Jack be challenged, and I enjoy challenging myself as much as others enjoy watching it. But there's others who don't enjoy it. There's others who see me getting challenged and allowing myself to engage with opposition. They see that as what it is. I'm kind of disrespecting myself. And I'm disrespecting the value that I know is available for me to share. But then again, those who oppose me, they're the ones who are just crying out for attention. And if God is using me, well, they're seeking attention with God. It's not me. And see, they won't know that, but they got to look within themselves to find that divine spark so they stop disrespecting themselves and others. This is, oh, here. For anyone who wants to understand this, right? The key is to go within yourself, who you are, the character of who you are, and allow yourself to sit and be with who you are and let the world just be what it is. You can give yourself permission, because if you can't sit and be with you and who you are, if that makes you uncomfortable or restless or bored or all of that, all the more reason to do it, to push through the uncomfortable, because you're avoiding something. You're avoiding you. You're avoiding the reality of your life. That's what an addiction is. People try to escape the reality of their life, and they're not really paying attention to their life. They're paying attention to their memories. I'm speaking from experience. Which reminds me, for those who do want help to change your thought patterns, to escape your mental prison, to actually change your life, if you want some support, reach out to me. It's the only step you've got to take. Says God to everyone. You want God's support for something in your life, you got to take that step. Go to God as though you know God is there. In this case, I encourage you to fake it till you make it. It's worthy of the effort to know that God is there for you, to know that God is the reason you breathe, and there is nothing more that you need other than God in your life. That's what I've been shown. You know, the food, the shelter, all this other stuff. It's just, it's icing, right? It's luxury. There's a lot of people who don't have that stuff, and they will survive with the grace of God and with the power. Hey, we do have our first guest, and Edward Cam, blessings to you. Blessings. Well, for the purpose of this conversation, yes. If you don't believe in God, pretend like you do, and then see what might happen.
Sammy invited me up. That's why I came up.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome,
And
Chuck.
and then that night we had that conversation about OTW. I might not be the most finesse speaker, but I was trying to tell you in a way what was going on. You got extremely mad at me for pointing out what OTW was doing. You took it as a serious endeavor for a movement. All he was trying to do was make some game out of it. And then I think you finally saw that, what was going on with the whatever he calls that thing he's doing. Do you disagree? Am I wrong? Is my observation wrong? If so, let me know, please.
Yeah, I believe you're inaccurate, but I don't
Well,
care
then would you explain it to me
why.
so I'm not
No,
spreading?
no, Chuck. No, I will not explain. I will not explain it to you. You can figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, that's still your problem. Okay? You misread me. You misrepresented me, said I got angry because of whatever.
I
What
said
I
you got agitated. You
uh
got upset with me because I was
okay.
telling you that it was a game.
Okay.
See, you're already predetermined in your outcome. I can
Tell
see
you,
that.
tell you what, Chuck. You're describing you again. I'm
Really
being
amazing. I'm just a mirror. I'm a reflection of you.
What can I offer you, Chuck? I've tried speaking and you interrupted me to tell me I was wrong.
Oh
So,
my gosh. I did not. I was trying to point out what was happening,
hmm.
but yet you
Tell you
did
what,
end up parting ways. Yes.
hey, tell you what, Chuck, what can I offer you from here and now? I would love to help you move forward. What would help you move forward and away from here, Chuck?
Oh, look at that. Once again, that sinister, devilish smile. I think that's what Jesus would do. Yeah.
Chuck, again, you just ignored my words and
No,
ignored my question.
you ignored my question. I'm just a reflection.
You're a liar, Chuck, and you don't even accept that you're a liar. And you're not an honest reflection of me. You're an honest reflection of your past. I reflect who I am. I'm actually pretty transparent. My story is publicly available. You can take you can choose any story you want. And if you want stories against me, well, they're publicly available. And if you want stories for me, well, they're publicly available too. So, the topic, let's get into this, right? Rather than deal with disagreeable nonsense that is apparently all my fault, according to Chuck and others. Golly, geez, man. Align with compassion. I don't think most people really give much thought to what these words mean. I know I never used to. As a man, I never really thought to think about what compassion means, what love means, what respect actually is, what honor truly is. I didn't stop to think and make sure I had a clear definition of those things in my past. And that was a mistake. Okay. And that's why I'm telling you, please do these things for yourself. Compassion. Compassion. Let's logically we can reason about some of these ideas, but to truly know them, they are experienced. And through the experience they are shared. That's love is best shared, compassion is best shared. All good things are to be shared. Hello, billionaires, right? All the good things are to be shared. If money's good, why is it being hoarded and not shared? generously. We live in a backwards world, brothers and sisters. The whole world is backwards and insane, and the only way to change it is to change it. Embrace change. Allow love to transform you and your schedule. I encourage you. Consider those ideas for yourself. How could I allow love to transform my schedule? What would that mean to me? See, life, to be won or lost, it's an inside game. God has given you all your power. God's given me all my power, and I'm still learning my powers, learning to trust my power of intuition, to trust the power and the gift of inspiration. I've been finding it's pretty close to me. I just got to call upon it. Call upon the spirit of inspiration when you're facing an obstacle or a problem. These are the things I practice. I have fun with my life because I have given my life to God. And that's the message that Jesus was truly speaking. It's what faith really means. But what is God? If I mean, what is a relationship with God if you're not serving that which you love, right? You claim to love God. So how do you serve God? Well, I suggest you care for what God has created. And what God has created is you. Look in the mirror. Do you care and take care of you? Or do you settle for, the sugars and the toxins and, the unhealthy diet, mentally, physically? How are you treating this child of God that God created you to be? Praise God, man. Trexty, thank you. You're witnessing this, man. This stuff is crazy sauce. This I don't know what you're responding to, but I'm trusting you're getting it, you're seeing it. And God keeps testing me. The universe keeps bringing me opportunities to test myself. And I'm really, really, really trying to find the opportunities to reward myself. Because when I receive rewards, man, I share generously. So let's see what I've got today. I welcome back our friend, and he has been very supportive. Our friend Cage. Welcome back to you, brother.
Back to the welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Hey, I've been working on improving me, Cage. And you and I, we've been tough on each other. But the topic
Did
today,
I not go out of my way to try helping you?
in some regards, and then you went the other way as well.
Okay, well, you can't have one without the other, brother and sisters.
No, you can choose.
I chose to try helping, bro. I don't ask for help, you know what I mean? But, I went out of my way to try helping you, no? Isn't that the people you want around you?
No, not ones that don't listen to me or don't
I
offer
do
what I
listen to
actually
you. I
want.
do offer a lot. I do listen.
But here's the thing, Cage.
No,
No
but.
offense, Cage, please. Where the first thought I wanted to get to, okay? Let's be clear. We've both been tough on each other, but we get to knock it off. The topic today is compassion. We can each align with compassion, share compassion with the moments here, right? And then we can love this time from here.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, what came to my mind with compassion is my friend Justin. He has something called Just Compassion. It's one of the first dispensaries over here. Right, he's in a wheelchair because he has multiple sclerosis, and they have a bulldog named Sage as like the mascot of that. Yeah, Justin Just Compassion. You can look it up. They've been all over the news and all that. So yeah,
Okay.
Just Compassion.
Can I please let me point out what I just experienced. Okay, you took my words from the here and now and you took us into your memory.
No, it's not a memory. It's happening here and now.
But you recalled someone who is not here. So what happened is
Should we bring them up?
no, what happened is the truth reminded you of something and you distracted yourself from what I was really saying. Okay? And it's been a pattern and it's just something I encourage you to please pay attention to the present. Unless your friend, the friend that you
He
brought
has
up,
multiple sclerosis. We can bring him
great.
up right now.
Is he relevant to my success,
Yes,
online or off?
probably. Yeah, yeah. You need people like that around you.
Okay, so how might you support him becoming aware of me so we can talk?
I could let him know. You want me? I could text him right now and be like, "Oh, come to Jack Talcott's."
He's welcome to join.
Yeah, and he has something called just compassion. He's a real person that gets it. And I mean, I'm sure that could probably help you.
Cage, well, see, what I'd really love you to do is actually
Yeah.
pay attention to
I
me.
am.
No, you're Cage.
Don't tell
When
me.
you,
I'm paying attention, Talcott.
well, Cage, I
Jack.
wouldn't, I wouldn't be saying that if there wasn't reasons for me to say it. Do not assume I'm making things up, Cage.
I
You're
never
showing
said that, man.
signs,
I'm not. That's not my assumption. I
Cage.
never said that.
Cage, there are signs I see, such as you're again deflecting back to this other person without really acknowledging the here and now. And I'm trying to have a conversation with you in the here and now. Is
Can I
that
not be
possible?
myself, Mr. Talcott? Can I not be myself and just do what I do?
No, you cannot,
What do
Cage.
you mean, no?
Here's why. Because
Tell me why.
being yourself is disrespectful to me.
Being myself is disrespectful.
Yes, Cage, because you lack situational awareness. You're not actually trying to pay attention. You're not actively listening. You're just in your own head. Now, if you allow us to communicate in the here and now, Cage, our conversations can be dramatically different.
All right, so let's dramatically fucking switch it up then. What do you want to talk about?
Your behavior,
All right,
obvious.
I'm not perfect, Talcott. I don't think you are. I don't think anybody is.
You're not even trying.
Yeah, I am trying. I'm trying my best right
Oh,
now. Don't tell
Cage.
me what I'm
Okay.
doing.
Tell you what, maybe it is true. I'll give it to you. You are trying. And Cage, let me understand. I'm not against you, all right? I truly appreciate you and I respect you and I'm grateful you're here
Thank you, brother.
and I'm grateful we can have these conversations. Because if you can understand what I'm saying, that part of you that's trying so hard, it'll get out of the way so you can just flow and people will love having you around.
People do love having me around.
So you say.
No, that's what they tell me.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually
You
make
know
a
what, Cage?
difference.
Cage,
Yeah.
perfect. You know what? Please forgive my doubts. I have no doubt that is true. In my
All
experience,
right, now we're getting somewhere.
as a man of God, I see a lot of ways for you to improve. And we both know this world is the way that it is because people enable
So it's called the great
nonsense.
work, Talcott, right? The great work is a work in progress, right? Every single day, every moment, from now to there to right
Mhm.
now. It's a
And
great work.
I know, and
We're
I'm
working on it.
trying to help us both grow greater. That's my goal right here and now is to
Capital
help us.
G, the capital G. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean a capital G, the great work. It's not completed. You know, it's every second from every day from
Cage.
this moment to the next. Yeah. So
Right, brother. Here's something I'm assuming with you, okay? Now, I mean no disrespect, but I think you know a lot of things and details and data, but there's some dots maybe you haven't connected because you've got a lot of unrest within you. And here's what we both know, dude. On the esoteric level, this is all a light show, it's all energy, okay? But the pains that people are feeling are real.
I
And
know that. I'm not denying that. But now we're talking about esoterics. Okay, now you're barking. Now we're talking because I know you have the nicotine thing in your mouth or whatever. But
Mhm.
either way, yes. But either way, because I remember you said like, Jack, what's in your mouth? It was a nicotine thing. But yeah, either way, full send that. So yeah, either way, yeah. Let's talk about esoterics if you like. Right? Let's get somewhere. Let's do it differently if you like.
Mhm.
You want
Actually, Cage, this, even that generic question, that's actually what I wanted to do today. Because I'm really hoping we can paint the picture. I want to share the picture I have in my mind of success, not just for me, but for this world, right? The new world that's available here and now.
to? The New World Order?
No, it's the original order, it's the natural
Oh,
order.
so the ancient order.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, it's always there, right? There's nothing new under the sun.
Exactly. And this is where the thumbnail was a simple observation. When
May I
people
read
stop
it?
talking, please do. Yeah, please do, Cage.
Today's Talcott. A world without wars is watching for people to stop fighting. A
Waiting.
world without secrets is waiting for people to stop lying. A world without fear is waiting for people to love. All right, that's a good message.
Thank you.
I can get behind that.
Well, and it's along the lines of there's nothing new under the sun, right? We
Nothing new under
can
the sun. There we go, brother.
we
Yeah.
can we can take what is here and we can reinvent everything. This is what I want to speak to Donald Trump and the other people in the American government about.
Yeah, but okay, Talcott. But like Donald Trump and these people in the government, you know what they are? Here's just quote my opinion, but it's really not an opinion. But what they are is like they're being puppeteered by like the master. So
Right.
they got strings on them. They're being just
Cage.
used as like a fucking puppet. You know what I
Right.
mean? So who's behind the string? I'd rather go
Cage.
for those motherfuckers. Yeah.
Cage. You're right. It's no different than the addict on the street. The addict on the street has given their power and their control away. So has Donald Trump and these other legislators. Now, that by oath, they are supposed to give their power to us, but
No, but they're
along
they're
the
bought and
way,
paid for.
well, this is the problem. See, man's laws have legally protected criminals. I mean, look at the Epstein stuff, the Donald Trump stuff. All this stuff is real news. The Netanyahu stuff. I mean, the real people are dying. What are we doing?
Well, yeah, because people get tricked and they get used like a little fucking pawn on the chessboard, right? And they get thrown away like the garbage.
Well, and Cage, back
And it's
to,
fucking bullshit.
well, it is, and we see this, but this is what I realized
All
is
right,
true.
so what if I pull up my shit and fucking do my own thing? And yeah, if they want to play like that, but look, real people they don't fuck with, right? They want it's lower
Cage,
hanging fruit. They go after like lower level in their
Cage,
mind type shit. Yeah,
Cage. I just want to remind you, the hope I have is that we talk about my ideas. Okay,
but it's not just you though, Talcott.
Cage,
It's something greater than you.
Cage. So far, it is just me because others have not accepted or considered my ideas fully. Had others
I
accepted,
fully accepted and considered it.
well, Cage, then why are we talking about nonsense and not doing everything we can to get this? message out.
We can, like there's different ways. Like I've tried to do it. Like I've been
All
doing
right.
it. The
Okay.
fuck?
What can
We
we
made
do
a
now? Is there
well,
something we can do together?
yes, we can. Look, I've been doing it, man. Like, do you not recognize it?
No, I really don't, because I don't know if you've noticed, but no, the numbers really haven't gone up. The number of viewers, the
Fuck the
number of
numbers.
subscribers. Right, Cage. But I also haven't changed anything outside of my life. So whatever effort you're doing, buddy, I'm sorry, it ain't helping.
Okay, you remember the little GoFundMe, whatever thing? Yeah, you put that into your bank. What? It's like a small thing, I know it never like worked out the way it should have because people just make fun of you.
Cage, why are
But
you
listen,
derailing the conversation
I'm not
again, dude?
derailing, bro. Who actually tried
Hold
helping? What am
on,
I?
hold on, hold on. Cage, you need to take a breath. You're not going to hold on me, dude. Yeah, you know what? Please share some support. That's There's got to be something we can do. I mean, I went down and I spoke to human beings, right? Human beings who are acting as aides of these congressional leaders. I couldn't connect with them. But you know what? After all my failed attempts to connect to human beings, I get it. I get it. They don't want to change. They don't want a new idea. They don't want to hear something different. Cage, can you chill out so we can talk about my ideas like you claimed we were doing? Please?
Yes, sir. I'll chill out. Let's brainstorm. Let's just come up with some ideas here. No
Well,
lie. Okay.
Cage, don't say it, do it. Come up with some
I do
ideas
it,
that
man.
are
I do it
helpful.
my whole entire life, bro. 6:34 now.
Actually, Cage, you know what? Here's what I've been reminded of this. And so if you will allow yourself, if you'll allow me, there's something there's something that you haven't connected that I can share to you, but I don't know what it is. But if you can understand me, and you've been trying to get me to understand you, if you can understand me, you will know exactly what you can do.
I know what I can do.
Okay. So then you don't need me.
No, it's not Jack. That doesn't mean that, man.
Well, you don't need what I offer.
But no,
Let me
it's
correct
not
that.
about that, man. Like, okay, it's about like it's like fellowship, brothership. You know what I mean? Okay, if you're seriously trying to make a good difference in that and do what you got, and we're here. Anything you need at all, let me know. And it should go vice versa. You know what I mean? If Cage needs something, I should ask Jack, and Jack will deal with it.
Have you?
I haven't, no.
Right. And
Because,
you haven't actually helped me either.
okay, well, what do you need?
I told you a long time ago. And this is what I mean, Cage. You
I'm listening.
claim
I'm listening. You want someone to listen to you and understand you.
no, no,
Okay, so
Cage.
what is it then? Tell me.
Okay, let's chill. Please, no defensiveness because I'm actually offering an opportunity to you. Okay? Real life. I don't care about anyone's opinions or doubts. And I don't need more people telling me what to do. But in real life, I am committed to finding a way. We're going to end wars and we're going to communicate the urgency of direct reforms into the American government. I'm pretty sure this is what God is doing
Well,
and what wants
I'm your
me to do.
Canadian neighbor, bro.
Well, let me speak to the Canadian government as well, whoever that prime minister is, or do the same thing.
Oh, and they got Carney, right? Like he used to run the thing
See
with.
if you can communicate with them, Cage. They're literally insane. But you got
They're
to overcome
completely
your
insane,
insanity.
man. You're right about that. They're
So are
completely
you,
fucking
Cage.
mad.
Cage, so are you. You are.
I'm a little bit. I'm beyond crazy,
I
Talcott.
know.
I'm telling you.
I know. I encourage you, do what I did. Give your mind completely to God. It's the only way it's safe. You can't be trusted.
No. I got a direct connection to the big G upstairs. What are you talking about, man?
Do you listen? You seem to
I
talk a
do.
lot.
I listen a lot.
You can improve your listening, Cage. We all can, and I've been learning that for
But I
myself.
do, Talcott. You don't actually care about people, right?
Well, Cage, then here, when you're asking what I want, dude, I'm hoping to speak with my son, to speak with people from the United States Postal Service again,
Okay.
to,
So your job and your family, main
yep,
things.
job,
Okay.
family, hoping to create a new, growth. I'd love to grow in numbers. I'd love to be invited and be a guest on other larger platforms. I know there's got to be someone like me.
I know the biggest people out here, the people that actually even created YouTube and that. Like, you want me to put them in contact with you? You ready? I'm not joking with you. I'm not even fucking with you.
That's what I've asked for. If it's in line with what I asked, please do it.
Okay. Well, if you're willing to be real, then yeah, the doors will open up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me you would take care of me seeing my son as well, and then you played some sick games and
How did
uh,
I play any sick game? What have I done anything wrong to
you
anybody? Somebody.
sent Dominic Tersini or whatever his name is.
Okay, yeah.
It's
You
it's
said you
another
want to talk to
Dominic, Jack.
Dominic, and then
See,
Dominic showed
I
up.
got you, Dominic, Jack. You're an idiot, Cage, and you can stop being an idiot.
Okay, but I've met Dominic in real life.
Tell you what else are you here for? I mean, what can we do now?
I'm here to help you, man. Like, what? Okay, like I'm good. I'm fine. But yeah,
Hmm.
if you need some support in that, and you want to find people that are gonna, like, have the best intention for you
Yeah.
and your family,
What are
then
you willing? What are you willing to share? Sincerely,
everything.
what does that mean?
That means everything.
What does that mean?
That means whatever I can offer, through like a young man trying to learn his own way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But you say that everything is available, but what I've asked for was not, and I don't get it, Cage.
Okay, but if that was presented to you, would you accept it?
If what was presented to me,
If everything was presented to you, would you even accept it?
Cage, you're speaking nonsense, and I'm not going to enable your nonsense as though it makes sense.
Okay, so where's the discrepancy? I don't want
You,
to.
you're
I'm
not
the
paying
discrepancy.
attention. Cage, you're not even trying to understand what's going
Well,
on
I'm
here and
trying my
now.
best, man. I'm not okay. Look, I'm a young man. I'm trying to learn.
I know you are, Cage. And you
Okay,
have,
so you don't have no
would you shut
patience.
up?
Okay, I'm gonna
See,
shut up. I'm gonna mute.
yes. Cage, lesson one, listen. You're not following through with what you say. There's many times I've witnessed you doing that. You say you listen and you do not. It's up to you. But Cage, you are on a path. You're a great young guy, man. I see your strength. I see your wisdom. You have been learning. Now, what I don't think you've learned how to do, though, honestly, is learn how to relax, learn how to trust, perhaps. And I'm assuming
I got trust issues, Talcott.
it's understandable based on
Just
your
like
story.
Austin in the comments saying, "Oh, I'm desperate." Apparently, they're saying because I'm over here having a conversation now. I'm
No,
desperate.
no.
Come on, Austin.
See, yeah,
Get the
Austin's
fuck out of
another.
here. Austin,
Hey,
you're on my fucking channel too, you little bitch. Shut
Cage,
the fuck up, man.
Cage. Austin's another character. He's exaggerating. He's having fun. Okay, and
Fun at whose expense or what expense?
yours, yours.
Oh, yours. Okay, also yours too, right?
Yeah,
You
you're
tell
right.
people.
Mine
Yeah, you know
too.
how people do move on the internet? It's fucking ridiculous, man.
I know. Cage,
Fuck out of here, man.
let me speak up.
Yeah.
Cage is not desperate. I know that. If he was desperate, he wouldn't be sabotaging, pushing people away. So he's not desperate, but Cage,
Thank
this
you,
is
Talcott.
this is actually something I want, a lesson that I really do hope to share and communicate. It's up to each of us, Cage. It's up to you to give yourself permission to be with perfect, right? And then you can feel,
Flawless victory. Right?
well, in the moment, in the present, because now is the only time. What we often do, Cage, when we don't trust, when we're not feeling safe, we will distract ourselves. And those distractions can go in many different ways, even learning. Okay, we can escape our life through trying to learn things and not actually sitting with life and the knowledge. Okay, I've seen myself, I've seen my own tendencies, and I've witnessed, God has shown me, my life has shown me a variety of everything. So the key for everyone, it's up to each of us. We've got to become comfortable with who we are and where we are. Because if people don't start speaking up against the nonsense, well, then the nonsense and the chaos, the darkness, it just grows. The foolishness of these bankers and the governments and all this stuff, it's out of control. The billionaire clubs. I mean, it's so it's undeniably obvious. The evidence of wealth disparity, the lack of compassion, the lack of care that's in the communities. It's raised a society of people that are selfish, they're traumatized, and because of memories of pain, betrayals, when people carry unhealed trauma, that's where the distrust is found. And then when good people don't trust each other, it creates friction, right? And each of us, we're bundles of light and energy, of joy and love that God has manifested into physical form every single day. Life is a magical fairy tale or a traumatic horror story. It depends on who you're with, who's telling the story, who's telling the stories within yourself. Which voices are you paying attention to? See, I used to pay a lot of attention to my mind because I knew I was gifted. I was tested, and there was evidence in my youth that I had a good mind. That's why I didn't bother going to college. Smart people can be so stupid. And that's what I'm evidence of as well, especially in my past. But this is what I see around me too. I'm going to call it for what it is. These good people in this Talcott lore, many of the guests who have joined my panels and have been publicly so vocal against me, they're smart people. They know better, but they drove themselves nuts somewhere along the way. Oops. Yeah, it wasn't. Hey, there's compassion. There's compassion to be shared, and honestly, think these thoughts through for yourself. If you're in an argument and a disagreement, if you can have compassion for the other side and you can have some understanding, it's where the forgiveness and the mercy is found. Um, would you accept that nothing is broken for them? Yeah. Evidence increasingly points to a low vibrational energy having to be generated to feed entities that govern this prison realm, darkness. I may have just jumped in on these thoughts, but yes, I've heard this idea that we are, by our being, right? We're organic, natural beings, biological. Um, we are the physical aspect of life that's been generated, but it all started from a miraculous life giver, a life bringer. There's a divine spark of life that moves us and animates us. And so we're like the gateway from the heavenly energies and the dark beings that don't have the source of light within them anymore. They sustain themselves harvesting off of us. And so we have the power of mind. The mind is the gateway to the spirit and to the relationship with the divine. You don't want to clutter your mind, and you don't want to dwell in the darkness, right? You stare too long into the abyss, and the abyss becomes you. I heard that said recently. I stared into the abyss. I welcome the warmth and the comfort that knowing the light brought me in the face of the abyss. And see, having that light, that spark of light, that relationship with all that is holy, all that is divine, in the human language and form, I know the teaching and example of Jesus. And I thought, like that, and maybe whatever else I might be able to achieve. That's my hope. Cage, welcome back, my friend. How are we doing?
Doing great, thank you. Yeah, my bad. I got a call. So yeah, sorry.
I was really hoping, when people disappear on me, I'm always hoping that they received a message and that their spirit had moved them.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack. I wouldn't just leave like that. You know what I mean? Like I'd definitely say, I'm off. Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah. So I'm
All
here.
right. Hey, thank you, Art Paul. Absolutely. All about promotion.
No. Don't fuck. I'm not here for that. I'm here for something different, right? I'm not
Yeah.
here to promote my shit.
Well, let's not deny you do share value on your channel. And so, you know, we may as well promote another source that people can find value because you do it a different way than I do.
Yeah, well, we all have our own methods in that, right? But yeah, I'm not here for that at
I
all,
know.
please. So thank
Mm,
you. Don't do that. Yeah, I'd please like respect that, and like, I don't want. I'm not here to promote my whatever I do.
all right. Are you not there to share wisdom?
Oh, what's the difference between wisdom and knowledge, right? That was a good question the other day.
Either way. Hey, we've got a true all star, in my opinion. Real professional, some would say. Welcome back, Caucasian Sasquatch. How are you, brother?
I feel a little underprepared. I was going to run and grab a drink before we started, but you got me right up here.
There
So
we go. We got a bubbly.
Hey, no worries. As you wish. As you wish. I can here. I'll toss you if you want. When he comes back, I guess. The hey, I think I get
Yeah,
yes.
whoever dropped my link in there, please no. I don't want that. I don't want. I'm not here to like
Oh,
siphon
okay.
off of. Yeah.
Thank you. Back to where our conversation was. Okay, use the word wisdom or knowledge. Are you not? Do you not have a challenge for that purpose to share
Well,
knowledge?
I can explain at least in my observation, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a huge difference between the two, and I think what it is application. Right. So if you apply quote knowledge, right, then you get wisdom. So it's like it's more of like putting it into work in this quote reality. Yeah.
Have you done that for yourself, my friend?
Hey, that's the only reason why I'm over here.
I think
In
it is.
general. Yeah.
I think it is. I'm encouraging you take some of those ideas of the non-existent nature of who you are. Take those ideas a little further.
I'm trying. It's a work in progress. And
It
I
is.
mean, I'm a young man. I'm trying to do my thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Cage, let me recognize that is exciting. A young man who is aware and looking into consciousness and spirituality. Okay, let's carry some of these ideas through. I came at this a little bit differently. Originally, I wanted to succeed in the idea of a business, in the commercial aspects, for the purposes of using the money system to support other charities and stuff. I was thinking like the successful. But the more I started thinking about why I was doing it, I started spending more of my time focused on the true goal, which is making change. And the more I started thinking about this unbelievable, crazy goal, I figured there's really only one way for it to get done. That's what everyone was saying. It'll only be through the grace of God. So I sought to better understand, who am I? Who is God? What is this realm? You have too. And actually, we've got others here who've done that as well. Um, Welcome, Stephen. How are you, brother?
Hello, brother. I'm good today. How are you doing?
Steven, and don't fucking bullshit, man.
I
And
apologize.
perfectly timed. Welcome back to you as well. Where are we at today? What's going on with us? I've been trying. Go ahead.
I'm so bored. I'm so bored. Nothing has happened in the last 24 hours. And while may you live in interesting times is an ancient Chinese curse, kind of sometimes you sort of wish something would happen occasionally. I love boredom. I'm great with it, but about 3 days is about my limit of nothing going on.
Well, you know what's funny about boredom, right? Bored, like it's like a bored, like playing chess or something, or fucking Chinese checkers. Or what about bore in? Yeah, boring in to the mind, boring in.
You're difficult to understand, Cage. What are you getting at here?
What do you mean?
What
It's pretty fucking
What are you
obvious.
talking about?
You want to lay it up? You want to say it in fucking Japanese or something?
It just, I don't know. But hello,
Yeah, you
Caucasian.
don't know. That's
Hello,
the first
Stephen.
honest thing
How
I've
are
ever heard
you?
you know. I don't know. That's the first
Okay,
honest thing I've ever heard you fucking out of your
Cage,
fucking mouth, brother.
Cage,
Yeah.
Cage. Please
What do you mean?
take a chill, please.
I'll
Just
take a
relax.
fucking chill pill. Okay, yeah, I'm a mute.
I
I,
think he's in love with me, Jack. I really do. Every time I come around,
Now you have to
he's
bring
just
some
Stephen.
kind
weird
of.
shit up. Okay, look at you, man.
It's okay,
Buddy,
dude.
no
Okay,
one gives a
It's
fuck,
okay.
bro. I'm not on fucking Ontario.
go ahead and finish what you were trying to say, Stephen.
I just think he has some issues. I wish him well, though. I don't know. I don't understand Cage, but anyway, it's good to see you, Caucasian
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
brother.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I haven't been avoiding you. I just go to different places when I can. You know how it
That
is.
makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes
How's
sense.
your show going today, Jack? How are you doing today?
I'm truly, I am truly fired up with faith. I know that I know that I am perfectly where I'm supposed to be, and that means that all of you guys are too. So if we can find ways to get along, communicate with each other, Sasquatch, dude, we can break that boredom with a purpose.
Hey, my boredom's gone suddenly. Holy change here. I'm utterly entertained suddenly.
This is the cure for boredom.
I
I
mean,
love it.
it's either this or I go do something ne'er do well out there in the world. And I think this is a better decision.
Well, I do too. Now, we've got some amazing minds, some great imagination. So if we can collectively, cooperatively think big, today could be the start of something amazing. And I was trying to communicate it with this with Cage too. Let's see what we can accomplish. How do we end secrets and wars? How do we get Jack to shut up about trying to talk with Donald Trump because he's already talked to Donald Trump. That's what I really want to figure out.
Any ideas, Cage? Do you have a solution?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my camera on.
That'll solve the world's problems right there. It's been an accomplishment. Thank you, boys. Being part of the think tank has been amazing. I'll be expecting my Nobel Peace Prize here in the mail in a little while. Thank you.
Well, I think it's going to happen. I mean, because...
I got my camouflage fucking hat. Yeah.
Well, think these thoughts through. It's just following logic. Even if a goal seems unlikely, if it's possible and you are persistent, if you keep learning and growing, heading towards a goal, well, you're eventually going to achieve some version of that goal. So,
yes, persistence.
I set my goal big a long time ago, and I achieved a big goal. I mean, as an average working man, I met with executives of the United States Postal Service. And so why not? Why not do that again just to the bosses of the United States of America? It's a corporation, after all. They're just human beings.
Corporation
is a corpse, right? The
you
entity
like
is a
my
corpse.
camera? Yeah, I'll put my camera on. Well, it will show them what time it is.
Well, Cage, you're a handsome young man. There's no denying that.
He's real intimidating.
A little bit more linear input in his conversation tactics, he would be great for comic relief. But it's so far off the wall that all I can say is bang.
He is comic relief, but you know, Jack, I love when Jack says it's happening now. Actually, I think that is profound because life is happening now, and some people lose sight of that, and they get distracted by playing stupid shit and games and showing their rings and different things like that. They're trying to play these games, but life is happening now.
It is. And we can either participate with what's happening now, or we can interrupt it. We can add to it. We can destroy it. We can do whatever we do, but if we don't pay attention, we literally drive each other nuts.
And I kind of ascribe to the concept that life is what happens while you're making plans.
Mm-hmm.
You're out there trying to get some stuff done.
I get it.
You look around and realize that you're in a totally different position than you expected to be, but that's life.
You got to roll with it, brother. The plans don't always come. Yeah, you gotta roll with it. I'd never wear a pinky ring. That seems kind of gay.
Here,
and the $20 sweatshirt. Go ahead.
Regardless,
go ahead.
The opinions on appearance and choices of attire, those aren't as important as the feedback. Cage, I muted you for a moment.
It's a distraction, showing the rings and all this kind of stuff. I think.
I agree, but I wanted to get back to what Sasquatch had said. Now I lost it.
Dirty fingernail.
What about the lemons? Yeah, because I'm in the dirt, buddy. I grow.
Cage, you're being a disruption.
Life is what happens while you're making plans.
Thank you. It was pointed out.
Quote, actually, Sasquatch. Yeah.
It was pointed out. I don't remember if it was a comedian or actually in one of these self-development seminars, but the observation on the American way, right? Where our entire system is created on planning and waiting, right? Elementary school preparation for high school preparation for college preparation for a job preparation for retirement. Nobody's living. They're just going along with what other people told them was good for them.
They're missing out on life. They're not actually living. I agree with you, Jack. That makes perfect sense. When you said about comedians, it made me think of Richard Pryor. I don't know if you grew up listening to any of his stuff, but Man, that guy was funny. Richard Pryor was off the wall.
We were blessed to have so many amazing characters in our time, right? Real talented comics, real talented all sorts of things. Right now, especially with the advent of social media, you can see all the talented human beings, man. They come in so many different varieties, so many different skills. Imagine how much fun we could have if everyone wasn't slaves to this Monopoly game.
Yeah.
We could rewrite the rules if we give ourselves permission to do so. And I'm pretty sure if we align with God and the goal is to end the wars and secrets, forgiveness of debts, maybe that can be something that's shared and encouraged. It's like the whole message of Christianity, yet we've got these Christian nationals that think that's a thing. It's a complete backwards idea from the message of Jesus.
May I share, Jack? Because
Please.
apparently, yeah, this quote that Sasquatch, mentioned apparently comes from John Lennon, but it's up for debate. This is the quote: "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." Emphasizes that the
Did you say
unexpected.
John Lennon or Lemon?
Yeah, John
Who is
Lennon,
it?
not Lemon.
Lennon.
John Lennon.
Okay.
Lennon. Yeah. So
Okay.
The
that
Beatles, I believe.
unexpected events and experiences often occur while we are focused on our goals and plans. It suggests that
Focus.
okay. It
I
suggests
just
that we should be adaptable, and appreciate the
okay.
present moment, as life's most meaningful moments may not always align with our carefully crafted schedules. You know what I'm saying?
Jack, you said something that I
I put
thought
it in the
was
private
important
chat, man. You want to read it instead?
a moment ago. You said something about the talent that we have on here, on YouTube, and on these channels and these panels. I agree. There's people bring their own talents, and I was going to say even Chuck. I noticed he's here in the chat today, and I want to pay him a compliment. He is talented. I have never said this before about Chuck in Tennessee. I usually don't get along with him, but he is talented. He's a talented sycophant for Flow State. He gave him $200 the other day, and he bought a bunch of memberships. He is very talented at that. I got to give him credit for that.
Oh, we got talented fucking goofies and shit. Okay, yeah. Here's
The
a grip.
issue you have with the talent
Here's a
that you
meth
find on
pipe.
YouTube is they're virtually impossible to wrangle. It's hard to harness that talent. Raw talent's like a horse gone wild. It's just running rampant across the landscape.
I got
You
lots
see
You got to wrangle the cats, like cats out in the field or something. Right?
herding cats. Yeah, it's like trying to get herding cats in a box.
Yeah.
It's so hard to do. And I've worked with a lot of different YouTubers, and they're very difficult just to schedule on the same night. But the topic is completely off. You can't control YouTubers on topic.
All right,
You
that's
get them all.
How's
so
your
I
cat
can
doing,
show you
Jack?
what I do though. Like I can actually like bring it and show you what I do.
Hey,
I got talent.
I'm losing my patience with you.
Come
Again.
on, Jack.
Cage, you were put in the back because you're interrupting. Now, you might want to consider that maybe I'd like to participate in the conversation as well, Cage.
Okay, my bad, Jack. Okay. Yeah, it is your channel. It's your world, bro.
Well, you are a guest here, so please respect the kindness and the hospitality that's being offered.
Well, I do respect you, man. If I didn't respect you, I'd tell you right now.
Your words are the problem, Cage. I've asked you
Don't
to
shoot
shut
the
up.
messenger, bro.
It's not the messenger, it's your behavior. You are in denial, Cage, and I'm not going to argue. There was a topic that was being shared. What was the topic? Holy crap.
Herding cats and YouTubers and talent.
The talent, yes. It is near impossible. You're correct. However, I know
It is a
it can be done. Huh?
You can't be forced is the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, I know 3 individuals I think would make the greatest show in history, but I can't get the 3 guys in the room because they just don't like each other. They don't like each other's content. There's no way to cross their freaking wires and make it happen. But it's a guy who has a degree in history, a guy who has a degree in economics, and a guy who has a degree in American history specifically. And his hobby is the entire economic history of America. I want to get them together to have a conversation about the whole economic system of, globalism in the world and all of that. Can't do it. Just can't do it.
You know what? I can relate to that frustration. that situation. You can see the gold mine there. You can see the value of what's there, and the participants are like, nope, 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 not gonna listen. Not gonna listen.
It's not even that bad. It's not even that bad. It's just that every single time I set a date, 2 of them, one's at a wedding, the other's at a funeral. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So
get in the same space.
Forgive my assumptions. So it is. People are complicated. Schedules and logistics. That is a challenge, and that's why I envision having events in the future, but I don't see Jack doing all the logistics and arrangements for those things. I see a team. There's people who are good at those things. And that's the key. The key to life individually is to find out what you enjoy doing, what you're good at, and then find out where that can be used. Who needs to know that knowledge? Who needs to be able to grow in that talent? That's the way to create better people, is through education.
I just had an idea, Jack, that might be helpful, but it would require basically you giving the go-ahead and wanting this to happen. But if we took everyone on your channel and started an email campaign with Don Lemon or Elon Musk or somebody that you wanted to speak with, and we got, let's say, 50 or 100 or more people respectfully emailing them, not being jackasses, being respectful, professional about it, and saying, hey, Jack Talcott here at this channel would like to have you on as a guest or be a guest. He has a lot of important things to say about creating world peace and ending all wars. And if we started an email campaign to get the word out all at once, kind of like over the course of, let's say, a week, and there was consistent messages by emails asking, hey, could you speak with him? Do you think that might be something that would interest you or work if everybody here got together that's tuned in right now and helped out, chipped in a little bit?
Absolutely. Those ideas are great. My first thought went to the office I went and visited today, Congressman's, but hey, we got another guest here. Casey, be excellent to one another. Welcome back.
Good message. Hey, Casey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How is everybody?
Truly feeling blessed, feeling excited. I do feel pretty excellent, all things considered.
Me too. Great day. How are you, Casey?
I am excellent. I'm fabulous. I had some ideas. Stephen, you had sparked the idea of starting an email. Jack, I don't know if you started this, but I had a couple ideas. May I propose them to you?
Please.
So one, I'm not sure if you've contacted any veteran associations like the VFWs or the American Legions in the area. Maybe within like a 15, 20 mile radius or even go bigger. I thought that may help with your message. Another idea is, I know you're looking for veterans to come to your channel, but I'm not sure if you've joined any veteran channels and shared your message there.
No.
And
I'm not going to lie. I know quite a few veterans channels through my First Amendment auditing interviews and stuff. There's a whole bunch of them over there. And those people aren't typically very nice. I mean, they're perfectly acceptable human beings, but, they're a little rough around the edges and quite to the point. Sometimes it can be difficult.
Do they call it VetTube? Veterans VetTube on YouTube?
No, it's there's a couple of overlapping communities. You've got the veterans who are still in service, and their all of their stuff is like, these are my new boots type stuff. And then you've got veterans who are out of service who have a little bit more to say about things, and some of those are left, some are right, some are happy, some are down, some are doomers, some are red pillars, some are, it's the full breadth of YouTube. It's quite dynamic.
Well,
But
what if Jack invaded their not invaded, but that's a war term, but you get what I mean.
I was gonna say they
Joined
might
their
think that.
joined their
Joined forces.
joined their ranks. Yeah, joined forces with the vets, especially the ones that no longer in service that are interested in these topics. Maybe that would get the ball rolling. More so, I mean.
Personally, I think the ball is rolling along fairly well.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't mean
Let's
to.
compare it to 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Things have changed. Things have moved forward. Things have taken advances. Accomplishments have been made, and no one can deny that. And I personally, I'm fucking amazed. I'm not even gonna lie, absolutely astounded, and I love it. I love every second of it. This has been an absolute freaking adventure watching all of this take place, and we is all I can really say. It's amazing. I like it. I've enjoyed very much. Thank you.
It's been a hell of an adventure for me.
I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah, so take those victories and share them with the American Legions, the VFWs, the live communities, and even any what are they called, the town halls that are in your area. I would take advantage of those and get the message out as much as possible.
I think those are good ideas, Casey.
Thank you. Thank you for those reminders. I haven't done those organizations since I moved. I mean, I am in connection with the national organizations, trying to get their attention with Veterans for Peace, Code Pink, World Beyond War. By the way, all links to these, and I believe About Face is also, all these links to peace organizations are in the description of every live stream I do. So please, that's what I care about, is really promoting that. I'm interested in any channels, but honestly, I've been to organizations, I've been to town halls, I've been to city councils, I've scheduled meetings, and on my own, I've achieved what I can achieve. I'm honestly at this point, my conversation earlier, I was leaning towards not even doing a live stream, because if God wants this, I don't have to do it anymore. I'm done. It's time for me to figure out my life, start taking care of me.
Is that what you feel is in your heart?
Well, I feel that God has me perfectly where I am, and I don't control the results. I only control my efforts. So it's up to me what I want to put my attention on. I've known this for a long time, but when I got my body's falling apart, my transportation, I don't know how long I can keep continuing on my own. Sometimes you got to pause and just take care of what you got, and then reevaluate your direction. And I'm not done. I just reached out to the Baltimore mayor. I'm trying to get my feel around for the community and where it is I can be of service, but without any connections, it's kind of stumbling around in the dark. And in the meantime, I've made connections with the organizations doing the May Day, the center down at Union Station.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes numbers matter. So if we could start an email campaign to support Jack, when he emails these people, if other people here tuned in to support Jack, could email saying, "Hey, we know of Jack Talcott. We support him." Do you have the mayor's email? If you could put that up on the screen, or any of these emails, whenever you get a chance, Jack, whenever you're ready,
Well,
I think it'd be a good idea.
I appreciate that, Stephen. That's actually why I shared my recent emails, why I talked about them. I did. Trying to build something with that the video of me getting tackled. I mean, it's getting kind of stale by now, but I reached out to Alex Jones, to Carl Tuckerson, to Alex Stein through email and social media, along with a lot of other people, but I haven't heard any response. So anyone who's willing to share, hey, if you know of the platform who's willing to, understand, I'm willing to go anywhere and to speak with anyone. But if you've got any ideas, please, I encourage you, become a part of this story, because it is. I've had to accept the reality I'm living, but this is who I am. This is the path I've found myself. Oh, not Carl Tuckerson.
Tucker
that?
Carlson.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Sorry, confused me. I think it might be a path to Donald Trump. And I the more I've thought about this, the more confident I am. Donald Trump is radical enough that he might just entertain a conversation with a disabled vet, a 28-year federal employee. Well, he doesn't really appreciate that stuff. Maybe the military, but
he's a radical, though.
He's a radical.
Yeah.
And I'd love for him to actually do what he says. And I'd love to help him achieve what he said he wants. He wants to expose the deep state. He wants to end wars. I've heard him say he wants to make peace. So I feel pretty prepared. I don't have any witnesses or success stories, but I'm sure as hell willing to try. And, this was the message that we delivered to the congressman today, right? They need to friggin' figure it out or get the hell out of the way. Human lives are at stake. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, don't worry about the naysayers and the disbelievers. Just keep pushing forward, Jack, with your mission.
Welcome back, Kate.
And just like Jesus, you have plenty of disciples here following you. So
Somebody's got loud interference.
I'm trying to adjust your settings, Cage, but your audio, that might have, you're muted.
I think it's a pinky ring. Now it's better. The sound is better now.
It's when he muted.
Yeah, never give up, right, Jack? So,
Casey, this is what I realized. As much as we want to give up, as much as we want to quit,
you're all full of shit. Yeah, continue.
That's what I mean by naysayers right there. He's offering negativity and doubt.
Cage, you wouldn't need to tell me to continue had you not chosen to interrupt me. And I don't like being told what to do when you are a guest here.
He said we're all full of shit. Cage, you're just being rude and disrespectful.
Steven, please,
okay.
We don't need to highlight the problem.
All right.
We can bring our focus to the solutions.
All right, I yield.
I just got mugged.
You got mugged?
I got mugged.
What?
My daughter came in and was like, "Hey, I need some money."
Oh.
Pick up somebody out, walk out.
Well, there goes the boredom.
That's right.
And then something happened.
I'm new to you. Yeah, something happened. You're all full of fucking shit. Yeah.
You can feel good that you were able and available to share, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can imagine.
I get it.
That's good for you. And you can feel good
Well
about
done, back. Well done.
At least she's not out there dancing on a table.
Oh,
That's all I
don't
can say.
talk about Chuck's family that way, Caucasian.
Oh, come on now.
I don't find that entertaining, Stephen.
Well, it's true though, but he brought it up to
You're
answer the
Stephen,
table.
schizophrenic on
Yeah.
disability, Steve. What are you
Cage,
talking about, man?
I don't find that entertaining. Please censor yourself and consider where you
I'm gonna
are.
censor myself. Here's the mute button.
You don't have to announce your behavior. What you need to do is follow through with your words, Cage. I don't know
Oh,
how
you don't
to
want to see my
explain this
words
any
following
more
through, do you?
clearly.
Okay.
Cage, why are you so resistant?
I'm a young man learning out here. What do you mean? Shouldn't I
That's
be
not
like
an
that?
excuse.
You
No,
want
bullshit.
your whole family?
Cage, Cage, bullshit. You're old enough to know better.
Go look into my family, bro.
I don't care about your past.
you will-
I care about right now.
Yeah,
Cage.
right now. No joke.
Cage,
Yep.
you can do better. Can you
So
not?
I think everyone can always do
I'm
better.
discussing you. Stop deflecting, Cage.
I'm
This
not
is
deflecting.
important.
I'm saying yes, I could do better.
You're
And
not
I'm going to continue to do
cooperating,
better every single day.
Cage. You're not cooperating. And for the love of God,
No, we got an operation, bro.
I'm done. I'm done. You can't figure out when to shut up. Cage, your life will change when you shut up and listen. This was a perfect opportunity for you to do it, to actually listen to me. But, Sasquatch, we can't force anyone to do anything. So, how do I convince Cage that there's actually value to be learned, value to be gained by cooperating with me? Any ideas? Because he's a perfect specimen right there.
None whatsoever. I'm not sure cooperation is in his nature, but consider this. He seems to be about 30 seconds out of sync with reality. He's complaining about something that happened 30 seconds ago, which is why it's so disjointing in the conversation. And I don't know if that's a combination of connection and cognition or what, but it seems to be fairly consistent. So I don't
I
think he's
agree with
saying
you.
anything, you know.
I love your awareness of that. It's something I suspected, and I know that it can be measured, but it's in line with my theory. And I'm not saying these things to elevate me or anything like that. I represent reality. Okay, when we're honest with each other, we represent what is real. The living truth is who we are until we choose to live in denial. But some people, some children, their time in life was so painful they couldn't accept what was real. And so they had to create a false reality in their mind, and then it becomes their character. And the young character, it reveals itself, but it's crying out for help. I can help Cage calm down, but he doesn't seem to have any respect for me, and it's my own fault. I've allowed a lot of disrespectful people to share time with me.
Jack, thank you for having me. I do have to go, so just want to say thank you to everyone on the panel and have a great evening.
Much love.
Appreciate
Goodbye,
it.
Casey. Have a great night. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Thank you. Yeah.
Are you okay, Jack? Because you seem a bit off today. How's your tooth pain? Have you taken anything for it, or is that bothering you, or what's going on?
I'm trying not to touch it or move it, and just keeping it in the background instead of the forethought, because I haven't found a solution yet. And it's another thing, it's hard to do when you got no connections, no familiarity with where you are. But I gotta find a way to fix these issues. So I think tomorrow may be just that. I may not be online. I'm not sure. Hopefully, I won't be. But actually, hopefully, maybe a miracle will come forth. I keep hoping for miracles, man. Why not me? Why could I not have a miraculous healing or something? Um, I've accepted my path is what it is, but I do believe in the miraculous, guys. Everything is coming together. Somehow, some way, the world of the future will not be like it is today because that's the natural order. But, oh, back to what you said. I'm sorry I took it so far away, Sasquatch. The timing. When people have unresolved trauma, unreconciled memories, and part of it is a habit, people are literally living in the past. They're 20, I think you said like 25 seconds behind the current moment. And that makes sense because God is beyond the speed of light, and light is what reveals the present. And even our brains are, there's a little bit of time, so they say. I don't know how they measure those things, honestly. But if it's true that God is using me as a messenger for today, the live without fear is to be shared throughout the world, and it will be when we work together and unite and overcome the fears of the world. That's the thumbnail. A world without wars is waiting for people to stop fighting. A world without secrets, it's waiting for people to stop lying. And a world without fear, it's waiting for people to love. So we can jump to the conclusion and start loving the here and now, wherever we are, with faith that with our efforts, our willingness, right, and the grace of the divine order that brings us to today, if we move with intention and purpose, I bet we could end wars and have reforms going really, really quickly. Because based on how I figured it, it took me, I timed it again, and it looks like it takes me roughly an hour and 40 minutes to get down to Union Station. But, a phone call to the right people can happen instantaneously.
Yes. I respectfully want to add something here. There's a University of Maryland School of Dentistry there. You might be able to get help at a dentistry school for very cheap to work on you.
Thank you. That's a great idea, actually. It
You're
is.
welcome.
Because if it's students, I'm sure they've got people overseeing them. And
Yes.
everyone's got to learn somehow. I've paid
Yes.
for worse. I don't know. No, actually, let me not exaggerate. I've actually been blessed with my experience with doctors and dentists. They haven't harmed me.
I don't think they would harm you, Jack. I think there's a lot of oversight, and they're being trained properly how to be dentists.
I think so. Any thoughts? Where are you guys at? I'm finding that feeling of maybe transition to something else.
You know what the advice I've given every single YouTuber I've talked to? Do what you love and film yourself doing, because you'll already have the interest in doing that thing.
I can't put that on YouTube, Sasquatch.
Yeah,
I can't film what I love.
I mean, it holds on every platform.
I know what you're saying. I just had to make a joke, lighten things up a bit. Thanks for having me on, Jack. God bless you, brother. And I do hope that you get your tooth or teeth taken care of, and I hope you feel better. You're in our thoughts, and we do support Jack Talcott. Even the naysayers in the chat, I think eventually they might come around. If they keep coming back here long enough, it'll start to sink in, and it's slowly the message is getting through. So thanks for having me on. I'm going to leave now, and thanks. Good to see you again, Sasquatch.
Yes,
Take
sir.
care,
Good
everyone,
to see you.
and God bless you.
Thank you, Stephen. Peace. Thoughts?
I try not to, man. I've been, trying to cut back. Finds it's easier that way. It's like I just found out that there's people spending the night. That they're all my children, but it's still kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Poof, there they are. But it's okay. It's fun. Whatever. Maybe to keep the dogs quiet. I don't know. I'm just like, thanks for letting me know. I mean, it's better than how it used to be when I'd wake up and there'd be 27 kids passed out in the room, and I'm like, who are all these people? Oh, they just needed somewhere to stay. Hi.
Hey, I need somewhere to stay.
Right?
There might be a couch left somewhere if you're lucky.
I don't even know what is what. Welcome.
Mattress in my bug out closet over there.
I don't want to stay in your closet.
I think you did this to me again, didn't you? You knew I was shutting down, and you said, "Oh, that's the time."
I didn't. I didn't. I saw that you're live, and I saw who was here, and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
I guess Steven's gone. Mostly I came because I wanted to see Steven. I'm obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Well, many are. He keeps calling people out. They just don't listen.
You have a similar problem, don't you?
Dude, I've got people addicted to me, man.
Humble much?
Hey, in good ways and bad. The bad, they're not addicted to me. Actually, no one's addicted to me. Some enjoy what I share.
Arpo would suck a fart out of your ass.
Oh, he
Get
gets
out the
it.
window so you wouldn't have to smell it.
I'm telling you guys, this is what the doubters haven't understood. There are people who get me. And as soon as I align with more people who get me, well,
that's a terrifying thought.
Well, I'm
a little bit disturbed by that concept because here's the thing. Like, I understand the concept of both activism and religiosity and the fuzzy wuzzies, right? That these people tend to be the same type of mentality, the same type of activity, the same type of energy, if you will. Now, where they draw the line is kind of an individual person-to-person kind of basis. And so I can really get behind a determined activist just as quickly as I can have fun in a tent revival. I'm here 10 toes down. Let's do it.
Both of those things you probably shouldn't get behind all the way, but
they're fun to be participating.
But if you're drinking or something,
I'm telling you guys,
$20, so I got to drink it.
The ideas of immediate and drastic reform, I'm not alone in those ideas, and that's the doubts I've been facing.
That's the beauty of communism. It's terrible as an economic system, but it's fantastic at overthrowing existing power structures if you're power hungry.
Although, admittedly, in small groups, communism is effective, provided everybody's doing their thing. But once you get up around 350 people, 400 people, you have so many people who are leeching off the system, it becomes an issue. You got to figure out what to do about those people. In a small commune system, you extirpate those people from the system.
Have you ever seen a smaller commune system work? I think families work great. I'm all for communism in my family.
You're also not even trying to understand what I'm saying. You just automatically you regurgitate the same opposition and looping in your defense of your ideas. It's fascinating.
Which part don't I understand?
You clearly don't understand what I'm suggesting. I mean, you keep creating a false representation of what I'm saying. It's just what everyone.
Well, I'm asking you to clarify which part was false.
Well,
because I'm not trying to misrepresent you. That is what I understand it to be. So, what is false?
Well, the communism and socialism. If you're building any sort of idea based on what was executed in the past, no, it's not that.
Okay. How's it different?
It is, as I've been saying, free and open knowledge, transparency, right? Cooperation, not governance and oppression, not exploitation or violence. where we actually overcome the reliance on money and focus on what is really valuable: knowledge. Every day spent at a job is a day not learning more. Most jobs, at least. And people forget. What's that?
I've learned a lot through jobs.
Sure. And but imagine a society where only the jobs that shared value exist.
That's
right?
That's what capitalism is. That is how it is.
No,
because
that is
somebody has to pay that person to do the thing.
Right. Some jobs exist simply for regulation, right? The doorman at the bar, is that really a necessity? Not really. Well,
if you have a bar fight, it is.
I'll tell you what. And then there's all these people, these professions of accounting and attorneys. All they are is experts on someone else's rules. So they reinforce someone else's rules with the idea that they've got a job and it's important. And it is.
Rules are kind of required.
Well, honesty is what we should be requiring. And we see it every day. Go ahead.
But if an honest man beats you down and takes your wallet, is that better?
He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
He just told you he was going to take your wallet. And you're like, no, you're not. And he beats you up, takes it. That is an honest statement. I don't know if he's an honest man, but
it's an honest. All right, it's an honest.
There's no secrets and no rules. So I mean, I might be okay in the Talcottian apocalypse.
Here. I'm gonna try again. You guys might.
You have terrible feedback. Why is he always so weird looking?
Because he's very angry.
Okay.
There's anger within him. That's for sure. And that's actually why, that's probably why I attracted you, Cage.
The anger saw the anger.
Yeah. And that's why it brings out my anger.
Angry Taylor, you're a little grifting. Look, nice hat, Hurley hat.
Thank you. Yes, I'm
nice hat,
a
bro.
38-year-old white guy. I wear a lot of Hurley.
Holy cows, Cage.
He's mad because I blocked him. Well, I put him on the inmate roster.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
His behavior is intolerable. It just destroys a live stream.
He's promised to wreck my channel, but I don't know. If you ever had the chance to have Access Rat Blood curse you, please take it, because every time that dude curses me, in the next stream I make buku bucks. It's fantastic. I mean, I make buku knowledge.
Good for you.
Yeah. And may I shout out Adona?
Go ahead, please do.
Thank you, Chuck, for the PayPal of knowledge, the knowledge pal.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we're exchanging in now.
Good for you. I'm glad. I'm glad for your wins and your success. I truly am. And Chuck, it shows his generosity. He shares generously with you. That's for sure. You two enable each other's behavior.
Well, he's shared with everybody. I'm pretty sure he's probably still a member here and still a member at Tommy's and still a member all over the place. He's pretty damn generous. So
he is a generous guy.
I don't know why people have an issue getting along with him. I think he's agreeable. But anyways, that's enough glazing. Good door manning, by the way, with Cage.
I'm seriously, I gotta do something. And it's my own fault that people haven't taken me seriously, because I guess I haven't taken me seriously. Although I did. I guess I overestimated my ability to communicate with people. I thought I could connect with people a little easier than it has been. But this is the interesting part. Welcome, Chuck.
Thank you for more knowledge.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the knowledge. I learn a lot from Chuck.
Can you handle that dirty money or not?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just checking. If you don't want my dirty money, let me know.
No, I think that's Paul that didn't want the dirty money.
I'm setting up a PayPal now for
Oh,
your
wait a
dirty
minute.
money.
Thank you. I will pay you, Sasquatch. But let's not forget that Paul is my woman.
That is true.
In fact, I own him now. He is a man of zero, zero, zero honor.
It was real interesting how just the power dynamics at play with OTW scurrying around without a master and then getting mad at Jack, and then Paul seizes that
Well,
opportunity. It's interesting.
if you remember, he latched on to Ian's balls first.
Yeah,
Then he moved to Paul. And then he moved to Jack. And now he's back to Paul's because Paul's fed him his balls.
he was only on Jack's balls for a second.
Well, yeah. And Jack, I was up here earlier, Flo, trying to explain to Jack that night when we were talking that Jack thought it was a movement, and I tried to explain to him that OTW was playing a game. The truth came out. I was right. And Jack
Oh,
got
he
mad at
thought,
me and kicked me all the way out of the program and StreamYard.
Jack, did you think that was real with the map and stuff? He's gone.
He's doing a hit.
Chuck, you're not funny.
Did you think that he was real with that
No,
OTW?
no. This is the thing. Chuck is a fucking liar.
Well, what happened?
I don't even know what he's talking about. Okay.
Okay.
This is the thing. I got angry. He keeps telling himself and others, Margot does this and all this. I'm watching insanity. You guys have been watching and Flo, you've been enabling insanity. Yeah,
I do all the time.
yes, but you're not realizing the consequences or what you're missing out on either. But you're free to do as you do. But back to Chuck. I don't get angry at him because he says things that I don't like. He says things that are untrue and irrelevant.
Okay, so why did you fall out from the little fantasy game?
That here actually it was on your stream where initially I was asked about it. And thank you.
Yeah, I put you in a weird spot.
No, you did perfect. You did the right thing, asking me what the hell is up. And I answered in support of him. And he showed me I regretted that faith. I actually thought he was going to do what he said he was going to do and actually create more value and engage more value. But he got caught up in this fantasy game, but that's what children do, right?
All right. So I have a confession to make. OTW and I were talking about those cards that he made a while back for the different Panelverse thing. And we had a really long conversation about creating a Panelverse game where the actual members of the Panelverse carry certain weight for showing up and not showing up or commenting in chat or whatever. And it was all very, very basic, very, very like not even skeletonized, but just a concept, spitballing spaghetti against the wall kind of thing. And then I'll wander off and come back and I see, what is it, the High Council of Concordance? And I'm like, okay, well, that's the thing that has happened.
I do credit his creativity and his willingness to spend all that time and energy on what he's doing. I hope it pays off for him. But this childish nonsense, he went from Ian to Paul to me to Paul, and I'm grateful for Moose because I learned from my time working with Moose, and I cut the strings with OTW before he created damage.
Were you trying to charge him money?
No.
Oh.
Matter of fact, here's another thing. Dude, you need to wake up. Flow
About
State.
what?
Money.
What about it?
You're not seeing the potential in me. Okay? There is so much value either online with broadcasting, especially if it's not just me. But if I was working with others, we could do serious value, serious entertainment, serious discussions, and make some serious money.
Wait. Are you asking me for a job?
Nope. I don't work well for others.
Are you
I was just about to say. I was just about to say I'm not hiring you. Yeah. So you're doing a Ben Thorpe. You're trying to entice me away from my thing that's working well, so that I can come support your thing, and contribute to it.
Not entirely. Hey, we've got some other guests. I'm going to bring this up. I did tell Steven and others I was shutting down earlier, but dude, please fix the name El Perro. Come on.
All right. So I just
welcome.
What's up?
Are you here to confess a crime, bro?
Confess a crime?
Yeah,
No.
We saw you.
Yeah,
that's okay.
We could just barely make you out. You need to deepen the dark a little more, or give us some light to actually identify you.
If you're to do an interview.
It's too red. It's
Oh, that's gonna be even better. I want you to look into the camera and be like, "Oh, you can't hear me now. I ruined it. I'm sorry."
I need the job.
Oh, he's here for the job. Hey, perfect. Welcome.
So you worked at USPS?
I did.
I just saw that when I was looking through your catalog. So what did you do there?
I was in the clerk craft, but I worked there for about 22 years. Different
The clerk craft.
So I was a morning distribution clerk. I was the sales service associate. I was mail processing machine. Worked on the letter processing machines, the flat machines. I worked on the small parcel sorting machine. And the job I had at the end, I was a business mail technician, bulk mail clerk. So I did a whole bunch of different jobs while I was there.
That's fascinating. I think there's got to be a lot of good stories, right? You got to seen some crazy stuff or no?
Yeah? Well, he was the crazy stuff.
No, oh my God, the fact you said this. Welcome to you. I don't know if we've met before, but welcome to you.
Thank you. No, it's we've never talked, but I've been watching for a few weeks, and I'm fan of some of the people in the realm, Crow, Rose, all that stuff. So
beautiful. Well, welcome to you, and thank you.
Are you willing to leave your old life behind and devote?
Wow, not so fast, man.
Okay.
Remember, you have to cut it up in small bites.
Let me spit on it first. Spit on it first.
Ease it in.
What is this picture of the black light? What is that? Is it a ghost?
This is the black light.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
it's my vigilante persona.
Right on.
It's a party look. The question about the stories, yes, dude. There are so many stories I found as a postal guy. And here's what I think that happened. Between being a postal clerk and dealing with customers, another job I had was I was a complaints and inquiry clerk. So in other words, I dealt with all the complaints related to the Postal Service for Eastern Washington and all of Idaho. And by the time they talked to me, they were pissed off by their carrier, by the supervisor, and I got all sorts of stuff. But
is that a character arc? Is that why you are the way you are?
Dude, it's a number of things. I'm telling you, this life I'm living, I thought I had my purpose in the past, but I wasn't comfortable being me. The more I've been looking at my life and the stuff that's been happening, I think my gift kind of is as a speaker. I've imagined maybe as a storyteller, because my life, I have experienced so many different stories, and all these stories have different lessons to them. So it makes sense to me. Tie in all these other things in my devotion to God. Maybe God is using me for this purpose.
Maybe you're using God.
I am.
Okay,
Everything I've learned is
that was easy.
I'm using everything I've learned. And actually that was my note in my journal, or question to myself recently, because I know we were talking about this earlier, the distance between knowledge and true wisdom. It's through application. I've learned from a lot of wise people. I've been blessed. And in my noggin, there's a lot of little pieces of knowledge, but am I applying it correctly?
Well, can I contribute to it?
Please do.
You should. I think that you would be blessed with the knowledge of figuring out how to get along with Chuck. Thank you, Chuck, for some more knowledges. He says, at least I'm fair and I let people up.
You are fair about that.
Mm-hmm.
You do let people around you a lot more than I'm willing to. But see, we have different purposes. My purpose, what I really hope to do, is spend time with people who want to understand what I'm saying. And Chuck,
he's sincere as fuck about asking you these questions, I think, but
he doesn't want to know. He wants to prove himself right. He's not willing to be wrong about me. Not yet. Hey, it's a new day, and I don't give up too easily.
That's true. You tell me you have a $20 bond. It's even with the
it's 40. It's 40 now, Flo.
Oh, is it? Did I up it?
No, I just did.
Okay, you tell me. you got a $40 bond now, bud. Should have paid it when it was 20. Let me update that right now.
That is $40.
Yes.
And you better get it. You better get it before it keeps going up. Because you've been there a minute, nobody's paying you down. Thank you, Chuck, for some more knowledge.
Well, see, Jack, we just hit common ground, and you backstaged me for saying it about OTW. You just repeated the same thing I said. So is that not common ground? I'm not here for a fight.
Oh, it was at 30, so now it's at 50.
Oh, okay.
I want to point out a couple of things here, please. Okay. I know your guys' lives and your stories are important to you. And Chuck, I know it's real important to you that you show that you were in the right. And Jack was wrong. Please allow me to finish, Chuck.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yes, thank you. So, Flow State, please recognize I support you and your path, but clearly our paths do not align. And your path has actually been kind of an inconvenience. It's been more of a hindrance, I think. It's been good and bad. You know it's been good and bad, but the bad, in my opinion, well,
I think that we want the same thing. You just don't recognize it as the same thing.
No, that's you.
Okay, you don't want to hear it first.
Tell you what, please. Why don't you?
No, I want to hear your resistance because you already know that. No.
Can I get some backstory? Like, as far as
Jack and I used to be gay lovers, but now he's with Sasquatch. Guy to my right.
No,
now it's him.
I believe it.
And I'm pissed.
Honestly, what it is, I feel deeply based on.
I told you he really was gay.
That you have been overlooking opportunities. That's what I tried to clearly communicate to you.
But you never communicated what the opportunity is specifically.
Right. Well, there's many, but until you're willing to see that I have some sort of value to offer, you're not going to take me seriously, and you have not. And
I don't take these protests seriously. I have given you plenty of props. I've pointed out lots of value, and you still sit here year after year saying nobody sees the value in you. It's crazy.
According to you. But see, if you understood me, well, you would understand me. But
That's
you haven't.
true. That's a true statement if ever there was one.
Right. And only you can choose to understand someone. But you chose to create a different narrative of me, just like Chuck has been doing.
I have my own understanding of everybody, as
I
we all
know.
do. You're trying
know.
to dictate my understanding
No.
of you.
Nope. Please, if it's coming across that way, please no. But I do know that some of the things I've heard said about me are factually incorrect, particularly when it comes to explaining my choices.
Okay,
Right?
fair enough.
Thank you. So
I mean, I don't know what specific. If you want to get into specifics, that would be useful. But if not, I'll say that.
Yes.
I'll say that generally, sure, I can make mistakes in my interpretation, but I also my understanding of you is not invalid just because you don't appreciate it or approve of it.
Fair enough. I don't dismiss. I recognize you're a great guy, and you've shown me grace. You've forgiven me when I've been rude and ungrateful too. So we're both rough around the edges, but I know that everything is happening for a reason. And I know that my purpose is not just to sit in a room like this on doing live streams. I mean, when I get around these other people, even today, there's a variety of people show up to try and be a voice against the craziness. When I'm around people who get me, I'm just like everyone else, right? But I'm different than everyone else because I guess I've accepted the reality of God being here.
Anybody deny that? Go ahead, modern men. Step up to the plate.
I explain myself.
What am I supposed to deny? Am I supposed to?
Why do you hate God? Me and Jack just got back together. The gayness is reignited. Why do you hate God?
So when you go live, is there like a goal for each stream, or is it kind of like people are supposed to come like yell at you? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Thank you.
He acts like a victim until people help him.
No, that is untrue.
Submission.
See, that is a false narrative. So
it was a joke.
I realize that at my expense, at the expense of what is real.
We'll make a joke back at my expense.
Well, I could, but I want to answer this question because it's a very fair question, and I believe he wants to know. What is this? I'll be honest, I'm figuring it out. And I've been figuring it out as I go, but kind of sloppy. Originally, I started uploading videos, but I'm not a video creator, and technology thing. I just started doing live streams. And then my purpose online is this live without fear. I've been studying all sorts of methods that other people use for inner healing. And I feel pretty amazing. I know I've faced a lot of my fears and done a lot of inner work. The idea was join online, share some light, some lessons like a lot of other people are doing. And then I got the idea from others of doing the open panels. And then I haven't found my method of keeping order and the stuff. So I usually start with a little monologue, and then I open it up and engage with what the day brings.
With the crazy people. This is a sanctuary for crazy people.
Okay.
That make me
that's
crazy,
one word for
Flo?
it, right?
Huh?
Does that make me crazy?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not exempting myself either. We're all here.
Right.
I can actually, yes. And if you can allow the explanation to make sense, you'll see how real that is. We live in a world of the insane where people actually get bored because they have so much comfort and so many blessings. They've lost sight of a greater purpose.
After the Great Revolution, they will have no more comforts.
Well, in my experience online, I was inspired by our friend for modern men and others who may not realize. I was inspired by our friend. Proper instruction motivates
Oh
people,
Lord.
and Paul Unslaved, and he started this.
Love
In
that
my
guy.
experience, he was doing the open panel. But what I recognized and what I still stand behind, a lot of these panels are being hosted, and people are getting compensated for creating a space for grown people to entertain themselves. And people entertain themselves when they're looking for distraction, right? When they don't have a greater purpose. I suggest America is the way that it is because focus has been so much on entertainment and less focus on actual productivity and growth of life.
Sure. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Well, what I mean, if that's what people want to focus on, then that's their prerogative.
It
I
is,
got a
but they shouldn't
question when I
interrupt
can.
me or oppose me for trying to make a difference. That's what I've been trying to communicate to people like Chuck and Tommy and others.
Well, and it shows in history that every successful nation, once it reaches a certain point of success, it eventually turns hedonistic in societal behaviors. They become so comfortable in that society that it's all fun, games now, and that's when it falls apart.
That's where
So,
we're at.
I got a
you,
question.
yeah,
Should I walk away from my personal responsibilities then? And that's to anybody on panel. It's
should
not
you?
directed
What kind of responsibilities? Like
to
kids,
a
job.
family.
I mean, what? Obviously, the answer to that is no.
So you're like
Well,
providing. You
there
mean like you?
there are limits, though.
Yeah.
Comes a point when you do have to cut ties with an individual because they are too much of an anchor to continue with.
What?
But I think I know. I think I know. Well, let me not get ahead of Chuck. Where are you going with
Go
this?
ahead. Go ahead, Flo.
I think.
You know my situation.
Right. Okay. So that's right. So Chuck is asking that because Chuck spends a lot of time socializing here because he takes care of his wife who's got dementia
And my son.
and his son who's autistic. So this actually enables him to take care of his responsibilities.
And running a farm, correct?
Well,
Or
It's,
an
7
acreage?
acres, yes.
Yeah.
7 acres.
Can I
And,
understand
and I
what?
didn't mean that to be a derogatory question or anything. That was a for real question.
no, it was a derogatory recommendation from Jack.
Well,
I'm
no,
not pointing any fingers.
I
That was
would
my point.
I would like to understand Chuck's intentions. What was the relevance to that question? Please explain why you are seeking
Okay.
opinions from others. Why are you seeking opinions about a life choice like that? What is your
Because
situation, Chuck?
you said to go on to these bigger and better causes, just like Paul told me to do. That's what me and Paul got into it about the other day.
Okay, so are you creating an argument with me over
No,
Paul?
no.
Can you explain the relevance to here and me, Chuck? Because as
Okay.
I've said,
You,
you irritate me because you bring no relevance and no value for me.
okay, let me ask this then. Have you not asked for help with your son?
Why are you asking what you know to be affirmative?
Okay. All I'm offering you, Jack, and I don't care about anything else, these great plans or whatever. But I've walked down and he called me selfish, make it about me. But I was able to get my family back. But
I
there
know,
was a
Chuck,
process to it. And
right,
I've been
Chuck,
offering to help you do that, but
and
yet you
you've
want to
done
kick me in the
nothing.
balls.
Chuck, I do not need to sit here and listen to you repeat yourself like a looping old man you are. Does anyone
I'm
else
a
recognize
caring
that
I'm
Chuck is
I'm a
not actually
caring man.
communicating with me? Does anyone else recognize this? It's two different conversations. I think I did the wrong one.
I was about to say you scared off new guy.
I was like, damn, dude, I must have made
Yeah.
a bad
No,
impression.
brother, I'm done with this fool. He's showing you what I am saying he's doing.
See, I mean, is he looking for therapy? I'm really trying to understand. I don't really get the backstory, but so
I thought you'd watched this before.
I have,
No,
but I mean,
how do you not know who Chuck or how do you not know who this is?
I mean, I say I
Listen.
probably watched 3 to 4 hours of this live
Okay.
stream that y'all do, and I've never even seen you. I usually
Jack doesn't
Here.
like Chuck. Chuck won't stop trying to help
Ron,
Jack.
Wait. Let's get back to his question. What is Chuck doing here? Is he looking for help? No. Does he need some support? Yup. He's a confused man who's making excuses and blaming his family for holding himself back.
He's offering help. Not everybody comes here.
Hey, tell you what,
something.
I don't need you to be continuing to correct me either. You've lost sight of what's here.
Well, I have to agree. I don't think he's up here looking for your help. I think he's.
I know he's up here wasting my time. And if you don't see that, when I'm asking the man, please, right, you are blind as well.
What just happened?
I'm accepting what is real. You guys aren't willing to understand what is. And you're close, man. I'm not sure where you stand today, but all of you guys are good people, but you may not realize what this is. Okay, this is Jack growing. I said I'm trying to figure out what is this platform? What is my direction? I've made a choice and I'm getting more committed to it recently. It's time for me to take me more seriously. Now, I've entertained people who have doubts because I want to be polite and I don't want to be evasive, but my story is what it is. I'm following the way of Jesus the best way I can. The ideas of ending wars seems like something that God and Jesus might want us to try and do. And I'm all in, right? Based on circumstances and choices, mine and others. I'm separated from my family. I wish I had that connection and relationship, but that's not my path. And it's interesting how Chuck and others want to keep bringing that up. Yes, I've asked for some support, some cooperation from human beings. My goals are many. I hope to reunite with my family, achieve justice with the United States Postal Service, restore my reputation. All of those three things really go together. And along the way with that, with support, I am dead serious. I don't know how it can happen, but I trust Donald Trump. If we can get his attention, if someone he knows would encourage him, hey, listen to this wild card, right? Give 30 minutes. Or if someone near him would check me out and see what I'm talking about, how serious I am. America can lead the world into reforms. The ideas and solutions are here. I'm trying to get the ideas and solutions into the minds to make sure they know what is available, the men and women in Congress. So either Donald Trump first, and he can help us speak to Congress, or we find a friendly ear in Congress who helps us the rest of the way. There's lots of ways to succeed. There's also media, right? I recently reached out to various media people. I continue to reach out to other larger platforms on YouTube, particularly in those in the self-development or the spiritual arena, because that's my heart too.
So if you wanted to give the bullet points, like I'm Donald Trump, like what's your do you have like an approach? Just out of curiosity, because I'm trying to better understand the grand concept.
the goal would be to communicate with him man to man, right?
Okay.
Human to human. I have my education and experience. I know of many other experts who can explain and answer any questions that I'm unable to. But really, what I want to speak to him about is what is right. What is right in front of us, secrets and lies. Because we've enabled secrets and lies in the government, in corporations, in the media, in our families. The world has corrupted itself. And the underlying message where I've landed at, sincerely, it's God. This is God's plan, God's design, it's God's day. We just think we're here. I mean, it's impossible, but honestly, I spent most of my life without religion. And I think this was by purpose. Because when I did turn to spirituality, I didn't have confinement over, a single interpretation. And I've been blessed to learn. We're living at a time. I tell you what, I have within me, right? I'm a people pleaser. There's a lot of people like me. We'll destroy ourselves trying to please people. But I'm overcoming that. I'm hoping not to be as desperate in my efforts to help people. But if people are willing, if you can't learn from me, you don't like the way I speak or whatever, there's others who teach this better than me. Spirituality, the historical stuff, the ideas of reform. But it just makes sense. A child can understand it. We shouldn't be enabling lies. The entire economic system is built upon lies.
So I guess I don't understand what Donald Trump, like, would he not be in on it? You're saying there would be some sort of breakthrough. I mean, I feel like he's just too much a part of it, right?
In his experience, what I can imagine, I could imagine him experiencing the Holy Spirit, I believe, with the right inspiration, the right encouragement, the right words. And maybe it can just be done through prayer. But the idea is for him to wake up. He needs to stop lying. What he says and chooses to do has a lot more importance, a lot more influence in the world than us. But he's surrounded by military advisors, economic advisors, the Heritage Foundation. They've got all of these advisors in his ear telling him what to do. But what I want to do is I want to bring him onto our side, the side of righteousness, and help him think for himself. I mean, if he has the opportunity to be a voice of peace, to truly end these wars and end the debts, there's nothing holding him back. I believe that's what a leader would do. And it's not going to be one person, right? When JFK tried to do things with the Federal Reserve, I think that was part of why he was taken out. So it's not going to be one man. And this is why I don't want to just speak to one congressman. I want to speak to all of them. And I think Donald Trump could help arrange it. Because isn't it this week that they're bringing in Netanyahu?
I have no idea.
I think it is. I saw in the news that Benjamin Netanyahu is being brought in to D.C. to address Donald Trump and the other men and women of Congress. Is this the land of equality? If this is the land of equality, then by my service and titles, I believe that I have a voice that should get at least a few moments as a disabled vet. Almost 30 years of public service in the federal government. I care about this world. I care about the nation. That's actually, part of my story. That's how I lost my job at the post office.
Yeah, you should tell me about that, because I don't get to hear that story. I don't know anything about how that happened.
It was, 2018, early of 2018, January 1st, personally, I chose to change my life and start thinking bigger. So I started reevaluating my opportunities, my education. I didn't want to walk away from the Postal Service because it was good to me and my family my whole life. So I wanted to do more. First, I explored, possibly becoming a national officer with the union. And then I also looked at possibly trying to get a promotion within the Postal Service. I had a crazy idea that I could, if given the chance, I could help make the United States Postal Service a better place to work for everyone across the nation. And that was back in 2018 when I was maybe a little bit of Dunning-Kruger effect. Maybe I thought I knew more than I did, but I was on the right path of mindfulness, meditation, resolving the inner conflicts before they come out on the workplace, right? On the workroom floor. That's what I wanted to help teach and share at the agency. But initially it started out as I emailed executives at the Postal Service, and initially it started out with a scheduled phone call. But after I realized what it was, I took it seriously, a little old bulk mail clerk, out of Spokane, Washington. I actually had the attention of executives of one of the largest employers in the nation. And I figured, that's worthy of something. So I took it seriously. I flew myself to Washington, D.C. so I could meet with them face to face. And after the meeting, I thought everything was going well. I flew back to Spokane and, I thought things were going towards a possible promotion for me. Well, then the attorneys got involved and there was an ethics attorney involved, which he's another part of the postal story too. But he chose to, when I challenged his opinion, his interpretations of the rules, he got ticked off at me and he says, "I'm ending this today." And shortly after that, my career was pretty much ended. So I pissed off the wrong guy in DC because I tried to help the Postal Service become a better place to work. And through that, my union reps, they misunderstood me. And so I went through a 3-year labor dispute with the Postal Service. My union reps and the employer refused to communicate with me, and they still do. I actually stopped at LaFont Plaza this morning wondering, should I go to Postal Service headquarters and see if I can talk to them about what happened? I figured it wasn't wise for me just to walk in. Not with that. I could be taken the wrong way. So it's a long story. There's a lot of pieces, and what it showed to me was how the problems of our society. I've encountered situation after situation where people are lost. They've lost their human identity, and they become their job and their profession. And so the world is insane. That has been shown to me clearly. And it's obvious. War is insane. Paying for war is insane. But that's what we were raised for. So my theory is, like I've said, I'm confident God is with us. I mean, it's the word. The word God is pointing at the substance and intelligence and the power that's behind everything, right? The universal energies that move us. We are all one time of history. And that's been shown to me clearly. But we talked about it in this live stream earlier, the very real possibility, and it makes sense too. If we're carrying around unresolved trauma, guilt, shame, blame, resentment, if we're carrying those things around, we're holding on to the past. And that makes us a little bit cognitive, slower, in the present. That's actually what we're dealing with in these panels.
Yeah. From what I've seen, is just trying to understand it. So it seems like a lot of bickering and stuff. So I'm always trying to. But I mean, where you're coming from is important. It's true. It seems a little lofty, obviously, with the Donald Trump being such a high goal. But I mean, you can always shoot high. But I see what you're saying. As far as what I've noticed, is just that they make it so difficult to even do what you're trying to do. I mean, just a small community thing, because it's so gate kept as far as. I mean, it's just the internet's such a different place than it used to be. It's just finding people to share like-minded ideas with has gotten impossible because it's all blocked behind these algorithms. So I do admire what you're trying to do. It's just crazy. It's frustrating how people can I don't know. I just couldn't see the appeal of wanting to. If I didn't like you, or if I had some problem with you, I don't know. I don't see the problem of volunteer. I don't see the benefit of jumping in to argue with you. It's
Right.
I mean, that's one thing about the internet. Like I don't have any experience with. I have a small channel. We don't have any fans really, so I've never experienced any of these things. But it's sad. I mean, I think it's sad, but I like to have hope.
Hey, you're in the right spot at the right time. And is that your channel name? I mean,
yeah. It's we only have like 9 episodes so far. It's me and another guy. We just we're doing what we do. Trying to just, I mean, honestly, I do it mostly just because no one's really listening right now, but I do it just to kind of talk to him because we enjoy, talking about stuff, and we figure why not make it into something other people can listen to if they want to. Maybe one day it'll be something, probably not, because what we talk about isn't really, we just use a lot of trigger words that they don't like. So I'm not thinking it's going to change my life, but I do have I'm particularly just honing in on the fact that with AI and with the internet and just the way it's changing so fast, more and more we're going to be at home. We're going to be in these boxes. I like to prioritize getting out of the house and trying to go do things in real life, but they're making that harder and harder. So it sucks that we have to resort to these online communications, but it's really all that they. I mean, people don't want to leave to go to the grocery store anymore. People just want everything delivered to their doorstep. So it's hard for me to kind of gauge what's going on in the world because it's so segmented into all these different places, and I just don't know.
What I'd encourage you to do, because your awareness is right. Okay, you're seeing the truth. There's all things happening. There's good and bad, but there are people that are withdrawing, right? I think my mother, to some degree, is getting to be like this. She's convinced herself she's going to work until the day she dies. And, besides work, she has groceries delivered and everything is delivered. She's living this life of production consumption. And it's sad, but it's not sad. I mean, people have to earn a living, right? But here's what I want to encourage you, brother. I've spoken about it, but I haven't asked, and you haven't really offered much I caught regarding spiritual faith. But I trust there's a perfection.
What do you mean by perfection?
To the unfoldment of all time.
Oh,
and
okay.
we are a part of the perfection of this moment. And this moment, while it looks dark, depending on the directions we look, it looks dark, but we are at such an incredible, humanity has developed into this such incredible point. It really is. In my opinion, I think this is the heavenly story, right? We're at this point in time. Are we going to save ourselves or destroy ourselves? That's what the universe is asking.
So you're saying it's still open? It's not like predetermined yet? It could go either way?
No. I accept and I know the light has already won.
Okay.
Goodness has already won. But in our realm, we don't know. Is that some eternity away? Or can that be now? I think it's now. I think we are the generation that is here. I have so many, for those who are interested, seriously, if you're willing to challenge my knowledge and what I've been picking up instead of my patience, we could have a lot of fun. There's been so many scientists, right, that I've learned of and discovered. We're at this time with technology and the development of AI, we could literally leap into an advanced culture and help elevate healthy, right, some of these other developing nations, so they don't go through the polluting cycles that we did with the coal reliance. We've got so much potential here on earth if the modern man, if we stop being lost and we just unite with ourselves.
Yeah, it's I mean, I like to have hope. It's reality. I still don't know if I would be as confident as you, just because my experiences haven't led me to be as confident in the future. But I like to be the guy who I co-host the show with. He's very, very on the same page as you, where he thinks that this is the end, where we're gonna do. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. But I'm still just I've had some pretty. What I always try to figure out is what in life is determined by, because karma, I think, is, if it's real, I don't understand it. Is it perfectly balanced? If it is, that wouldn't make as much sense to me, because you'd think that really bad things would happen to really bad people, but they often don't. So I've also experienced a lot of health issues in the past couple of years that I think that they've been so extreme that luckily now it's kind of slowed down and it's been a little bit better, but they've been so extreme where I feel like to have deserved them either in a past lifetime I've done something horrible, because I don't think that karmically it would make sense. So I still try to juggle all these things and try to figure out what it all means. So
I get you.
Yeah.
I can understand, and I don't have clear definitions either. The understanding of karma that makes sense to me is it's just a reaction, right? This realm is cause and effect, and the effect becomes a cause, and then that creates an effect, and it all continues. So karma is our repeating actions, especially when we get triggered. Those are our bad karma repeating. We face the same problem, just different characters or different variations of the problem. What the key is, whether we have clear understandings or not, I love where your mind is at. If you can accept that this is a part of my experience, right? Sometimes I've heard it said too, some of these illnesses we may have, it's the purification. It's the release of the toxins from our ancestors, right? I don't know how it all works, but a positive mindset, that's the key.
Yeah, I've also tried to figure out what I've done in the last maybe 2 months because if it is karmically balanced, I've done something that is on the right path, because I have been trending upwards, which for a year I was not. I mean, it almost killed me, dude. I ended up in the mental hospital, and it's a whole thing. But I mean, so I'm trying to maintain whatever I'm doing, and I got to figure out what that is. If I'm on the right path, I got to figure out what part of my life is it that actually is. But I mean, I've also kind of dabbled in the occult, and I don't know if I'm like paying the price for that. I never got anywhere in it, but I went through a couple initiations, and I don't know if that was evil or not. I just don't know. You know what I mean? It's so hard to know, because I mean, there's a lot of liars out there. So there's a lot of times when I try to trust my intuition, but often I look crazy if I do that. So I don't know.
Sometimes. Hey, I'm gonna start wrapping up. I'm gonna do some
man.
final.
It's good to meet you.
You as well. And if you're interested, I'd enjoy our conversations, even if it's offline. So if you want to connect,
I don't know. What are you on Telegram or what?
I think I'm on Telegram.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be Telegram. I don't know where do you usually want me to reach out to you at? Email?
email, even my phone, text or call.
Okay. That's bold.
Well, it is what it is, man.
All right, man.
I want to be available. And I think the questions you're answering, if anything, if I can be a sounding board for you and give you some more confirmation, a little more comfort in your path, then
Sure.
that would be an honor for me. Okay.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Much love. Blessings to you and to all of you, brothers and sisters. Thank you. All who tune in, you're a part of this adventure. Even if you're not active in the chat or you're not leaving a comment, you tune in later and you just get what you get. Thank you. We're all a part of the data, right? That's who we are. I realized that as a government employee, I was nothing more than data. That's how I know we're all easily replaced. I didn't think I'd be easily replaced in some ways, but God showed me. But brothers and sisters, this is the game of life. We can get real upset about things that are just temporary. And then we can get real attached to things that were not intended to be permanent. It's all up to you. You keep rising up, Chuck in Tennessee. Thank you for your continuing membership and contributions. Your opposition to me, sincerely, dude, it makes no sense. And this is what I'm dealing with. It really makes no sense what has been happening to me. My career, my family, the nonsense that everyone's been entertained with. I've been entertained by it too. But it's frustrating for me. The constant negativity, bashing my name, trying to tarnish my credibility when I know who I am. I'm an honest man who gives a damn. I care deeply. I care so deeply that I'm willing to be here online talking about my mistakes, right? Talking about these crazy ideas, crazy goals. But you know what I realized? This is God's life for me. So I've accepted there's a bit of craziness within me. There's a bit of craziness in the world. I try not to be so spontaneous and aggressive because people get scared a lot. They like to defend themselves when there's no reason to attack. And they like to attack when there's all reasons to cooperate. See, Chuck, when you realize, praise God, praise God. God is the goodness that is. I am glad all of this happened. I really am. And Sammy, that's true. I would not change a thing. I was thinking about this earlier, thinking about comparisons, right? We see in our mind that others are facing similar challenges. We find a little solidarity and comfort just in that knowing. And then the other idea is you can become inspired by anyone you admire. And there's a lot of people I admire in this world of today. And there's a lot of people living lives that, man, my dream life is being lived by other people. But you know what? When I'm honest about my life and what I see as potential and probable for my future, I wouldn't change lives with anyone. I thank God every day that I get to be who I am. I encourage you to do the same because no one has ever been you before. No one may be you ever again. But were you ever really there? Were you ever really you? That's the question, right? These inner questions, this inner mind. I'm going to start wrapping it up because I could go on and on. Love and words and truth and God and love and love and love. And it all comes back to love. Love is the answer. I'm going to wrap it up here. Sincerely to all who were a part of this on the panel, in the chat, and later date, God bless you all. Thank you. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Even you, Chuck. Peace.